We're going to dive deep into the world of NFL greatness today as we explore the extraordinary career of Patrick Mahomes. We'll be taking a closer look at his incredible achievements and asking the big question: if he retired today, would he be going to the Hall of Fame? But that's not all. We'll also be comparing Mahomes to some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time and determining where his rightful place is on the all-time list. But before I dive in, let me encourage you to take a minute to hit that subscribe button and keep up with all the NFL theories and videos I have coming up. Now, this season, Mahomes clinched his second Super Bowl victory and his second MVP. He's clearly on a trajectory to be in the Hall of Fame. But the real question is, would he be inducted if he retired today without ever playing another game? Let's examine a few Hall of Fame quarterbacks who have achieved what Mahomes has so far: 2 Super Bowls and 2 MVPs. There aren't actually any quarterbacks who have those exact numbers. However, there are a few Hall of Famers who have very comparable careers. Take Steve Young, for example. He was a dominant quarterback in the NFL for the 49ers for 8 years, in which he won a Super Bowl and 2 MVPs. During that time, he also racked up 7 Pro Bowls and 3 All-Pro nods. He doesn't have the longevity or the overall career numbers to be considered among the top greats, but the important part of this is that he only started a few years more than Mahomes has started, and he's only got 1 Super Bowl win. Then let's take a look at Kurt Warner, who's one of the most recent quarterback inductees into the Hall of Fame. Similar to Steve Young, Kurt Warner won a Super Bowl and had 2 MVP awards, although his career was a little bit more up and down as he only went to 4 Pro Bowls and 2 All-Pros. Furthermore, Mahomes' career numbers are right behind Warner's. Over his career, Warner had 32,000 passing yards and 208 passing touchdowns. Mahomes is right below that at 24,000 passing yards and 192 touchdowns. So those 2 quarterbacks, both in the Hall of Fame, both with 1 Super Bowl and 2 MVPs, that alone puts Mahomes in the Hall of Fame right now. But where does Mahomes stand on the all-time list of quarterbacks? Well, I've broken it down into tiers. But for this, I'm specifically looking at their career resumes. What have they accomplished? What kind of awards and championships have they accumulated? I'm not comparing who I think is the better player. Anyway, for the first tier, we have Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, Johnny Unitas, and Brett Favre. Each of those players have multiple MVPs and multiple Super Bowls, with the exception of Brett Favre, who only has 1 Super Bowl. But he had 3 MVPs, and when he retired, he held the record for most passing touchdowns and passing yards. The next tier is really interesting. We have John Elway, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, and Bart Starr. This looks like the group that Mahomes fits in right now. Now, it's tough to compare Mahomes' career to the likes of Drew Brees and Bart Starr. Brees played for 20 years, accumulated 13 Pro Bowls, but he only won 1 championship and no MVPs. Conversely, you have Bart Starr, who played in the 50s and 60s. He did win 5 championships and had an MVP, but 3 of those championships took place pre-Super Bowl, when football and the quarterback position are drastically different than they are today. Nevertheless, I have Mahomes slightly below Brees and slightly above Bart Starr. Now, if you look at Brees, like I said, he didn't win an MVP, but he came about as close as you can get without winning, as he was second place in voting 4 times. On top of that, he's currently second on the list of all-time passing yards and passing touchdowns. Now, Mahomes hasn't reached that level of career numbers, but that just takes time, and he will get there. Conversely, you have Bart Starr. Like I said, he won an MVP, and he did win 5 championships. But, as we mentioned, 3 of those weren't Super Bowls. We're talking about a time in the league where the NFL only had 14 teams. It's impossible to weigh those championships the same. In conclusion, Patrick Mahomes' career is one for the history books, as he is well on his way to the Hall of Fame. With 2 Super Bowls and 2 MVPs, he has already surpassed other Hall of Fame quarterbacks in career achievements. It's clear that Mahomes has the potential to be one of the all-time greats, and I'm excited to see where his career takes him. So if you want to stay up to date with our latest NFL theories and videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join us for more in-depth explorations of the NFL.